A student walked into his jiu-jitsu class one day carrying something far more dangerous than any technique he had learned. He carried a smirk. He had discovered a move, a temporary paralysis hold, and he thought it would be hilarious to use it on his unsuspecting coach. What happened next wasn't just karma. It was the universe holding up a mirror. The Bhagavad Gita speaks of ahamkara, the ego self, the false identity that whispers, I am special, I am clever, I am above consequence. Krishna warns Arjuna that this ego is not your strength. It is your blindness. It makes you believe you are the author of outcomes, when in truth every action carries a seed that will one day bloom, in ways you never planned. The Buddhists tell a parable of a man who throws a stone into still water to impress onlookers. The ripples return to him. He is surprised. But the water was never surprised. Nature never is. What we send outward always finds its way home. The student didn't understand this yet. He was too busy laughing at what hadn't happened yet. There is a particular kind of ego that hides inside humor. It doesn't announce itself as arrogance. It wears the costume of a joke. I'm just having fun, it says, but beneath the laughter is a quiet desire to feel superior, to demonstrate power over someone who trusts you. The Stoics called this hubris, not loud pride, but the subtle belief that you are exempt from the rules that govern everyone else. Every great teacher in history has said the same thing in different languages. The moment you try to diminish someone, you begin diminishing yourself. Not metaphorically, literally. The energy you invest in cleverly outsmarting another person is energy stolen from your own growth. The student spent time mastering a trick instead of mastering himself. That is always the ego's greatest theft. It robs you of your own potential. Here is what most people miss about karma. It is not punishment delivered from the sky. It is simply the natural completion of a cycle you yourself began. When the student attempted his prank, he activated a chain of consequences he could not control. The coach, trained and aware, responded. And suddenly the student found himself in the very position he had designed for another. The trap became his own floor. There is something almost poetic about this. The Zen tradition calls it mushin, the empty mind, the state of a true practitioner. The coach didn't need to plan revenge. He simply responded with mastery. And mastery, when met with ego, always wins, not because it tries to win, but because it has already transcended the need to. And here is the deepest truth, the one that reframes everything. The student's real defeat happened before the prank even began. The moment he chose to use his knowledge to humiliate rather than to honor, he had already lost something precious, his integrity. The physical outcome was just the echo. The real fall was invisible, internal, and entirely self-inflicted. Ego never needs an opponent. It defeats itself. Today, pause before any action taken to impress, to dominate, or to feel clever at another's expense. Ask yourself one honest question. Am I acting from my highest self, or from my fear of being ordinary? That single question, asked sincerely, is a compass. It will redirect you from ego's dead-end road back toward something real, toward growth, toward respect, toward the kind of strength that doesn't need an audience. The river does not boast about carving the canyon. The mountain does not mock the valley below. True strength is quiet, grounded, and generous. The student that day received a lesson no textbook could have taught him, that the mat humbles everyone equally, and wisdom only enters when ego finally bows. May we all bow a little sooner. Subscribe to LifeVeda for daily wisdom that transforms your life.